Fingers and toes crossed. Drink of tea.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Ah, 3, 2, 1. So we are live. All right. Okay. Let's just take that off and go here. Hello, Angelika.
Hello, Stephen.
Okay, you don't know how happy we are to be here. First of all, welcome to the show. And this is Ask Angelika, German sentences for cross-country skiing, season 6, episode 7. Angelika, would you like to explain today's broadcast?
Yes. Yes, well, I wanted to do another winter sport. And this, of course, is sort of the time when several of our friends, or you hear these comments, oh, we're going on holidays next week. We're going skiing, can't wait. And whenever I hear that, I always think rather them than me, because I would probably rather go directly to hospital with my broken leg and not bother with the skiing. Never really appealed to me. But I mean, I've never done this either, but cross-country skiing, that seems to be a little bit easier, and well, maybe it's also safer because you're not going downhill as such. That would possibly appeal to me. So I thought, well, even if I'm not going for real, let's have a look at that instead. So that's today's topic.
Brilliant. And we're about to find out more. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that off screen. And we're going to start with the sentences. Now, Angelika's put together 10 sentences in German. I'm going to read them. Angelika will correct my pronunciation. Then together we'll translate them. If you're watching live, we'd like to say a big thank you, because we're so glad to be live. Do you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Okay. Right. So 10 phrases. First phrase is coming up. And the first phrase is, wer gehen kann auch langlaufen.
Ja, wer gehen kann auch langlaufen.
Right. Wer gehen kann. Could I have used laufen instead of gehen?
No, not in this case.
Okay. We're using gehen in the sense of walks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever can walk can also, and I'm going to guess this, cross-country ski.
Yes.
Langlaufen. And laufen, lang means long, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It is your long walk or hike or anything like this, but it is sometimes, I mean, it can also be called Skilanglaufen, and then you really can see which long walks there are. This is not a long walk somewhere in the countryside, but it has to be on the snow. But most people know when you're talking about Langlaufen what is meant, so we don't bother with the word ski.
Okay, so the translation is, he who can walk can also cross-country ski. Press 2. Die klassische Technik des Skilanglaufs ähnelt der just a moment, I'm going to take a run at this one. Gehbewegung.
Almost. Gehbewegung.
Gehbewegung. I've got the break in the wrong place.
Yeah, Bewegung is movement. So die klassische Technik des Skilanglaufs ähnelt der Gehbewegung.
Right. The classic technique of cross-country skiing, because we've learned that in the previous sentence, and I couldn't say it, and I don't know what it means. So what is Gehbewegung?
Gehbewegung is the movement when you're walking. So just translate it as walking. Und ähneln means to be similar.
Right. So the classic technique of cross-country skiing is similar to walking. Okay. Phrase 3. Ganz so einfach ist aber doch nicht.
Ganz so einfach ist es aber doch nicht.
Okay. I've got a blank.
Yeah, there's no skiing word in there. That's why I thought I'd keep that sentence. Well,
yeah.
I can explain a little bit. Those first 3
Sure.
sentences I've taken from a website, and the first one you may have noticed was in inverted commas, because it was actually a quote. Wer gehen kann, kann auch langlaufen. And that was from an advert in the 1970s to entice people to go cross-country skiing. And they were saying, yeah, if you can walk, right, you can ski. And they explained it by saying, die klassische Technik des Skilanglaufs ähnelt der Gehbewegung. Because, come on, the classic technique of cross-country skiing is similar to walking. And if you can walk, you can ski.
Right.
But the website who I took these from, the third sentence says, ganz so einfach ist es aber doch nicht, which just basically means it's not quite that simple. Ganz so einfach, quite that simple, it isn't.
Okay.
And before we move on to the next sentences, you said you found a video about it. So this might be a good time, because I only took these 3 sentences from the website. The others are sort of sentences you may hear or may need to use or whatever if you're going cross-country skiing with somebody else who's German.
Best starts at the beginning, hadn't they?
And have you unmuted me?
I've done both. I got there in the end. I think it's the first time I've actually played a video.
I think it is, yeah. And yeah. I can see why they did the advert in the 70s, you know, he who can walk and cross creek, because it does look dead easy, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Looks really, it looks absolutely, maybe that's why I feel like I'd like to have a go, because it really looks easy and the landscape looked pretty, and you could do it without having to go into the mountains.
Yeah.
We could, in theory, do it here, but I don't think we'll ever get that much snow.
No, I hope not. Well, we can get that much snow if it disappears the following day. Yeah, the thing is that if you're walking in, say, walking shoes or hiking boots, then you can stay upright most of the time. The skis are actually narrower, so you've got to keep your balance. We'll probably come on to that. So let's go Heute, phrase 4. But we've seen it. We know it exists. Okay, Heute ist das perfekte Wetter für Langlauf.
Perfekte. So the emphasis on the second syllable. Heute ist das perfekte Wetter für Langlauf. That would have been a very appropriate sentence for that video.
It would. It did look perfect. It looked flat as well. Yeah. So the translation of that: today is the perfect weather for cross-country skiing.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Phrase 5. Wo beginnt die nächste Langlaufloipe?
Yeah, well done. Wo beginnt die nächste Langlaufloipe?
Okay, begin is begin, next is next. When does the next,
or the nearest is probably a bit more appropriate in this case now.
all right, okay. So when does the next loipe?
Yes, that's the trail.
Right. Okay. So
that's a typical skiing term.
Okay.
And so the trail for the cross country skiing.
Okay. So we have, so that's everybody's watching, and thank you for the like. Where does the nearest cross country skiing trail start? Okay. Verse 6. Ich bin Anfänger, kannst du mir ein paar Tipps geben?
Yeah, that would be our sentence, wouldn't it? Ich bin Anfänger, kannst du mir ein paar Tipps geben?
Right, the end bit first. Can you give me some tips? I'm a beginner.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And phrase 7. Beuge, deine, Knie, leicht und mehr Stabilität zu haben.
Okay, second part was brilliant. First part was nearly good. Beuge deine Knie or Knie, leicht mehr Stabilität zu haben. Knie is a weird word. Well, first of all, we don't have the silent K like in English.
Yeah.
And both, it's spelled similar, not similar, it's spelled the same in singular or plural, whether you're talking about one knee or knees. But most of the times we then tend to say Knie when we're talking about the knees, whereas Knie when we're just talking about one. So beuge deine Knie leicht, mehr Stabilität zu haben.
And Beuge means, what does Beuge mean?
Bend.
Bend. So bend your knees. Get translation. Bend your knees slightly to gain more stability. So just going back a minute, leicht is
slightly. Leicht leicht could mean lots of things. It could mean easy. It could be light as in lightweight. But in this case, it sort of means slightly, just a little bit. So bend your knees a little bit rather than don't go down in a squat. You just want to bend your knees a little bit.
And we say thank you to Steve Hall for the like. Verse 8. Drücke dich mit den Stöcken nach vorne ab.
Drücke dich mit den Stöcken nach vorne ab.
So that's abdrücke.
Well, nach vorne. Yeah, exactly. That's the action.
Right. So stop and stick, pull, and drücke, push yourself forward with the poles.
With the poles, yeah. You're absolutely right. Stock could also mean a stick, but in this case, it's the poles.
Okay. Phrase 9. Halte deine Arme und Beine in einem gleichmäßigen Rhythmus.
Ja. Halte deine Arme und Beine in einem gleichmäßigen Rhythmus.
You thought I was going to get rhythmus wrong there, didn't you?
You remembered it was a German spelling or German pronunciation?
Yeah. Okay. And altering this sense is keep.
Yeah.
And you're using your arms and your beine, which are your legs.
Yeah.
So keep everything synchronized.
Well, steady. Gleichmäßig is steady.
All right.
So keep arms and legs in a steady rhythm.
Okay. Which is the translation of phrase 9. Keep your arms and legs steady. Arms and legs in a steady rhythm. Sorry about that. Phrase 10. Last
well,
finish.
Keep them steady as well. Yes.
Viel Erfolg auf die Loipe.
Auf der Loipe.
Auf der Loipe.
Yeah. Viel Erfolg auf der Loipe.
So much or good luck on the course.
Yeah, or on the trail. Yeah, exactly.
Like, right. So
yeah, viel Erfolg is in the meaning of really much success, but we wouldn't say that in English. We always say good luck.
Much success. Right. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is the German sentences were read by Angelika. I shall read the English translations, and we're going to rewind and go back to phrase number 1. Angelika. Okay, there we are.
Wer gehen kann, kann auch langlaufen.
He who can walk can also cross-country ski.
Die klassische Technik des Skilanglaufs ähnelt der Gehbewegung.
The classic technique of cross-country skiing is similar to walking.
Ganz so einfach ist es aber doch nicht.
But it's not quite that simple. And then we'll show you.
Maybe I won't attempt it.
Okay, verse 4.
Heute ist das perfekte Wetter für Langlauf.
Today is the perfect weather for cross-country skiing.
Certainly not around here with all the stormy weather we're having at the moment and no snow.
Today you'd get blown along.
Yes. Wo beginnt die nächste Langlaufloipe?
Where does the nearest cross-country skiing trail start? Probably
Not
up in...
very often. The German sentence is shorter than the English, I've just noticed.
That's true.
Cool.
Probably up in Scotland.
Yeah, but haven't they got the storm as well?
Oh, yeah.
Ich bin Anfänger. Kannst du mir ein paar Tipps geben?
I'm a beginner. Can you give me some tips?
So maybe the other person would say, aber natürlich, but of course. Beuge deine Knie leicht, um mehr Stabilität zu haben.
Okay, so the first tip is bend your knees slightly to gain more stability. Tip 2.
Drücke dich mit den Stöcken nach vorne ab.
Push yourself forward with the poles. Phrase 9.
Halte deine Arme und Beine in einem gleichmäßigen Rhythmus.
Sorry, I was doing the action. Okay.
Actually, I think it's more like that and not like this.
Okay.
That's your skiing bit, isn't it?
That's basic. That's when there's ski racing, I suppose, rather than, because when you're walking, you're not in any particular rush, are you? I suppose. The translation was keep your arms and legs in a steady rhythm, which is what I was trying to do. Press 10.
Of course, there are lots more tips. If I used them all that I found, I think we'll be doing a 3-hour or 10-hour show. So this is only a little bit. But at the end, the person might then say, viel Erfolg auf der Loipe.
Which translates to good luck on the cross-country skiing trail. Let's bring this on screen. And I'm going to, Angelika, what can you tell us about that picture over there?
This is just a reminder. I mean, it says back to learning German. I know we're almost at the end of January, so this might be a good reminder. If your New Year's resolution was that you want to do, you improve your German again, or you want to pick it up again, or anything like this, of course, these Ask Angelika shows, we've got such lovely sentences. We're always putting them together very lovingly. These vocab books would be really useful to write them down and keep them, because my vocab books don't just have a page like this. This is what a normal vocab book has. They just normally just have line paper, a line in the middle where you put your German on one side and your English on the other side, or whichever language your native language is. But mine has got the vocab list, but then also spaces for the whole sentences. So if you wanted to do the topic of cross ski, I find that a tongue twister, cross country skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could write the vocab down. So you could write down langlaufen or langlauf is cross country skiing. You know, maybe you couldn't remember the word for weather, so you would write down das Wetter, which is the weather, you know, that sort of thing for individual words. But you can also then write the sentences down or even make your own sentences. That way you've got them all together as one topic. And you most likely know that just learning that, I don't know, Anfänger means beginner is one thing, but being able to turn that into a sentence is far more useful. A, the word sticks, and B, that's when it's useful. Because ich bin Anfänger, kannst du mir ein paar Tipps geben? You could use for anything. Any activity you want to do, and in Germany, and you're talking to a German, this could be a useful sentence. So by writing the whole sentence down, it is also a good way to use the word Anfänger. And so my vocabulary books are topic based, and each vocabulary book has got space for 25 topics, and you can even write down what the topics are. So if later on you think, oh, we're going skiing next week, I know I've written some words down, but where? And instead of looking through a folder with 100,000 pages and you're rummaging through them, in the vocabulary book, you just need to look at the first page and you look, quickly check. No, it's not this one. It must be the other one. And you'll find it a lot quicker. And you can even choose between two colors. Brilliant. So it's a good way to reinforce what you have learned, whether this is with our Ask Angelika shows or anything else, of course.
True. So this has been Ask Angelika, Season 6, Episode 7, Cross-Country Skiing. And what is our next topic, Angelika?
Probably another snowy one while we're still in the snowy weather season, sort of thing. I'm not too sure yet.
Okay. When are we? Sorry.
The next one will be in 2 weeks, and then we will have a break. Well, for how long, I don't know yet, because after the next session, I'm having my first cataract operation, and I don't know how well I can see afterwards until everything is done. So I'll have to play it by ear. But there will be one more before that anyway.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Angelika, would you like to close today's broadcast?
Yes, thank you for watching. Maybe we've enticed you to pick up your German again, or maybe we've enticed you to have a go at cross-country skiing. But whatever. I hope to see you again in 2 weeks' time. So until then, it's tschüss von mir.
Und tschüss von mir.